What's up, guys? This is Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be breaking down some of Patrick Mahomes' best throws from the 2020 season. We're going to be talking about how you guys can throw on the run, how you guys can make uncomfortable off-platform throws, and then how you guys can use some of the mechanical things that Patrick Mahomes is able to do. Obviously, he's got a very talented, strong arm, right? But how you guys can use some of his mechanical things that he does to help you guys with these uncomfortable off-platform throws, like I said before. And guys, if you're a quarterback and you want to get better at reading coverages, knowing how to understand defenses, what the defense is going to do, especially with the season coming up, and some of you are already in season, that's so beneficial to know what your opponent's going to do. Check out that link in the description. It says learn how to read defenses. We break down 200 already made. As soon as you buy, it's like Netflix. As soon as you sign up, you get 200 already made breakdowns on every single defense that you could think of. We walk you through it step by step. Plus, we get 4 new videos every single week. New titles added to the website. You get access upon signing up right away. Check out that link in the description. It says learn how to read defenses. Let's get started. So first things first, here we're going to be talking about this throw where he escapes and he throws on the run. Now, this is why I can't stand when quarterbacks train, and when they throw on the run, they throw on the run when they feel like it, right? If you're throwing to a stationary target, right, you should have that stationary target, or if it's a person or whatever, flash their hands so you get used to having to get this ball out of your hands right now, because we don't know when the window to throw is going to be there, right? A lot of guys, they prepare for this throw. They start chop their feet. They load up. They get their front shoulder on the throw. That's not realistic football. Realistic football, when you're escaping out of the pocket, is you got to be able to get this thing out of your hands on a dime right now. So let's watch this thing full speed. So you see when Mahomes is here. He drops back. Now when he gets out of this pocket here, you see how he's scanning the field. Eyes are up, windows there, it's out. That's how quick we got to make this decision, because this window is not a very big window. If I load up and I try to prepare for this throw, he's going to be here and the safety is going to come down and be able to cover this throw. I got to be able to get it out right now. So the thing about Mahomes mechanically and how you guys can think about this is all ties, especially when you got something coming back across your face here. Everything ties into your right leg and your hips. Those are the most important things when you're throwing on the run, especially to something coming back across your face. You got to step in the direction of the throw with your throwing side leg. Make sure you get your hips to the throw. That's the goal of this whole entire thing, right? So you see when Mahomes goes here, and now we got to be able to produce torque as well on this throw. So how we produce torque is when you step with your throwing side leg, that's when you start this backstroke of the throw, right? A lot of guys like to start it on this left foot. They'll step with the left foot first, and then they'll start the backstroke, but you want to get your right foot grounded as you're in this almost like opposite L, or not, it doesn't have to be a perfect L obviously, but some kind of a backstroke position, because when you swing your left leg through and you keep your hips level to the target and your shoulders square to the target and you don't dip your front arm out of there, that gives you that snappiness and that torque to the throw. Right? But when you're able to step and you get your right foot towards the direction of the throw, you bring your hips there and you bring your shoulders there, it keeps a consistent release point. You see, everybody loves to talk about, he can make these throws because of his baseball background. You can look at a ton of guys who don't have a baseball background that do the exact same thing, right? This is a mechanical type throw, and especially when you're making awkward throws. Mahomes, Rodgers, Josh Allen's another one this year. They all are so good at making these uncomfortable throws, right? You saw a throw that Wentz made in that Thursday night game the other night. That just dime that he threw on that little wheel route to that running back. Feet weren't set. Uncomfortable throw. But you see when he makes this throw, and when all these quarterbacks make this throw, they stay square with their upper half. Their shoulders stay level, their hips stay level, because that gives them a consistent release point as well. Imagine if Mahomes stepped on the run here and his hips were still going this way and he didn't turn his hips and turn his shoulders. He would be throwing across his body and his arm would be going across his chest, and that ball would have no power, right? Now imagine if Mahomes took that left arm and swung it out of here for power. His arm would fly because your body's split down in midline. So whatever your front side's going to do, your hips do and your shoulders do, the arm's going to be affected by that, right? Now imagine if he swung that left arm down. That would push his release up high, but because he's able to stay square with his upper half, he keeps that front hand nice and tight to his body, his release point is consistent. Now if you could just keep your hips in the direction of the throw and your shoulders level to the throw and you don't dip out of there, wherever I flick that wrist, that's where that ball's going to go. That's a great job by Mahomes, stepping with the right leg, closing those shoulders, letting the hips swing through, and that left leg comes through. And you see how when he finishes, he almost turns back the opposite direction. I would rather have that, right? Because at least you're not having your hips go towards the sideline. Everybody says, when you're running out on the run, make sure you square up, that you run at the target. That's not true in this case, because when you're doing an escape drill, you don't have time to do that. You got to step with the right leg, close your shoulders, and bring your hips and your shoulders to the throw at the drop of a dime. And how you do that is when you step, bring your hips and shoulders there and fight that urge to swing everything out. This is a great throw by Mahomes. Watch it again full speed one more time. Great job escaping the pocket, looking downfield. You got to step and then make sure that we close, make sure your hips and shoulders stay there so I can deliver this shot downfield. Great ball by Mahomes. Okay, so now we're going to be looking at this off-platform throw where you got to climb up in the pocket, your feet aren't set. It's very, very similar, different type of a throw, right? He's throwing to this route right here, but very similar to that same situation that we saw Carson Wentz. I hope you guys should definitely check out that throw if you want to become a better, like a more improved off-platform thrower. This is very similar to that throw. Climb up in the pocket, your feet are set the opposite direction, we got to throw back across my face. Now, this completely debunks the whole you always got to have your feet set. You always got to be on platform, right? That's not the case, right? You watch the game as the game evolves, and honestly, it really hasn't. I honestly don't even think the quarterback position has changed a whole hell of a lot. Mechanically, it has, don't get me wrong, but you see quarterbacks at this level, right, at the highest level possible, they make these throws look so easy, and they always are making throws where their feet aren't set and they're uncomfortable because they know that the windows to throw are so small. Like when you're in youth ball, then like lower high school level ball, you can set your feet. You have time. The windows aren't like guys aren't going to be as fast on defense. They're not going to be as quick. They're not going to be as physical. You got more time to throw. You could afford to be late, but as you start getting older and you get to that higher level of high school ball, then you get to college ball, then you get NFL ball especially. Everything's so much faster. And if you can get comfortable with these throws where you're not set, especially, again, I know a lot of shorter quarterbacks watch this, and I know because a lot of shorter quarterbacks need to improve their game. This is the main thing that you guys got to focus on, right? And I'm not a very tall guy, and this is something I wish I would have done more of because I would have been more comfortable, right? Because you see quarterbacks all the time who would shuffle up like this, and they just take off and run because they don't have confidence in this type of a throw. They've never worked this throw. So my suggestion to you guys is when you guys are training, when you guys are working out, never put yourself in a comfortable position. If you go out with receivers and all you do is just take a 3-step drop and a hitch and throw digs and just throw slants and then you call it a day, you're not getting better, right? That's not, you're training for a perfect environment. When you train and when you work out, you should be training for an imperfect environment, right? Because this is the name of the game right here. Mahomes climbing up in the pocket, not having his feet set, and he's still got to make this throw back across the field. Now, the mechanics behind this, everybody's like, he's got a strong arm. That's not the case. Watch, who's another great guy who maybe doesn't have the strongest arm who could do this throw. Like Kyler Murray. Watch Kyler Murray. They all have strong arms, but watch Kyler Murray make throws, right? Again, you can use the baseball background excuse, right? You look at Drew Brees' throw. Look at Aaron Rodgers. He's not a baseball guy, right? You look at some of these guys who are able to make these types of throws. Carson Wentz, again, that's another example, right? You look at Dak Prescott when he was healthy. So many different guys make these types of throws. Sam Darnold, there's another perfect example, right? Not the strongest guy in the world, but the throws that they make, they're always uncomfortable, right? And watch how they make this throw. That's what we're trying to point out. There's not one way to throw a football, but there are consistent points that we can teach so you guys have those consistent points in your motion. Everybody does this different. The way Mahomes takes the ball back is different than most. Drops it low, brings this thing up, has a good backstroke. Some guys maybe bring it a little bit higher. Some guys have a little bit more of like a 45 backstroke, however it is. But the consistent points are when you guys climb up in the pocket, when your feet aren't set, your foot strike still has to be the same because the sequence of the throw has to be the same, right? So when we're here and when we throw, you guys want to treat this almost like you're throwing to the left side. Like how would you normally throw? You want that foot strike to be the same timing. You don't want that left foot. Everybody loves to bring this left foot all the way around when they're throwing off platform, and that'll swing their shoulders, swing their hips, and then guess what? That swings that football outside of your frame. You'll come across your body. But when we're initiation, right? That's what everybody loves to call it, where you get your front foot down as you're closing your shoulders. Because now, if you keep your hips level to the target and your shoulders level to the target, you're climbing up fast, right? So you have momentum. If you can close those shoulders, get that front foot down, and you keep your hips level and your shoulders level, you're going to have torque. And you see how when Mahomes finishes this thing, his left shoulder and his left side of his body isn't dipping way outside of his frame. He's staying completely square to the throw. Hips to the throw, shoulders to the throw, same foot drive. He's just rotating through with those hips and keeping his hips at the target. That's the key right there. That's how we have to be able to make this throw. And you see, that's why he's throwing such an accurate shot, right? Again, arm strength 100% helps. It helps on it helps on slants. That doesn't mean that guys who don't have the strongest arm in the world can't hit a slant. That doesn't mean guys who don't have the strongest arm in the world can't hit this throw. The next throw we're going to take a look at, not every quarterback's going to be able to make that throw, but it can help you. The mechanics side of it can help you if you can make this throw, or if you practice this type of a throw, maybe a harder throw, how easy is it going to be when I have to throw a check down? How easy is it going to be when I have to throw maybe a dig coming across my face? But I'm comfortable with the footwork. I'm comfortable with the sequence. I'm comfortable with the uncomfortable, and I can make this throw and be accurate, right? So again, when you guys climb up, we don't always have to have my feet set, but what needs to be be consistent. Foot strike and your upper half has to stay square. Close those shoulders as you're getting that front foot down. Your feet may not all be all the way set. Rotate through. Keep your hips and shoulders square to the target to be accurate. Let's watch it again full speed one more time. Great job by Mahomes. Comfortable with the off-platform stuff. That's how you guys got to play the game, because life in the NFL, you're not getting your feet set, right? Life in college, you ain't getting your feet set all the time, right? You guys will make more uncomfortable throws than comfortable throws, right? That's why I cannot stand when coaches get their guys out there. They'll have a whole shitload of receivers, and they'll just go, okay, we're just going to throw digs. We're just going to throw hitches. Then we're just going to go through the route tree. That's it. Just 3-step, 5-step. That's it. It's not getting anybody any better, right? You should be working these uncomfortable throws. Work on not having your feet set, because that's what's going to get you better. And it's not easy. Don't get me wrong. It ain't easy. How I work with my quarterbacks is we'll spend probably like 30 minutes on mechanics in the beginning, working not even with the football. We'll get ready to rock, and then we spend the next hour working just hard throws, difficult throws, as uncomfortable as possible. You try to make it as hard as you can, because this position, you cannot prepare for everything. That's just a fact. But if you're comfortable with your mechanics while being off platform, you're comfortable being uncomfortable, that's going to make you a more consistent passer. And when the shit hits the fan, because nobody prepares you for that, nobody tells you that. Everybody makes it seem so easy. When the shit hits the fan and these guys don't block as well, maybe, and you never want to get on those guys, but let's say there's a blitz, you got to make something happen. You got to improvise, because that's the name of the game. I want to have enough wherewithal to be able to make those throws, have enough confidence to be able to make those throws, so I can help the offense succeed and still get it to my playmakers. Okay, so now let's watch this throw again from Mahomes right here. So you see how he's drifting out. Now this is one of those throws where, yes, you got to be a very, very talented quarterback to make this throw back across the field. Not a lot of guys can make this throw. It's a very tough throw. But the one thing I want to let you know about this is what happens when he's drifting. Because you guys, I guarantee you will not, some of you will never make this throw. But I guarantee you some of you will drift out of their back door, and you will hit a check down, you will hit a drag, you will hit this little out route right here, right? So what's the mechanics behind that? How can I make sure I'm consistent on that? You see when Mahomes throws this thing back across the field? Where's he at on release point? He's square. He's completely square. His head is level, because that keeps that consistent release point, and that makes him accurate. And look what's coming through first, his hips, right? If you guys are drifting out back door and you guys got to drift away and you're throwing maybe a drag, center of gravity is important. Having a good base, being able to sit your butt down, right? So you could be able to drive, and you see even when he's off balance, he's still driving off that leg. He's still letting those hips come through, and he's still staying completely square with his upper half, because that's how you have a consistent release point. When you're off platform, it is almost the same throw. Front foot's getting down, same timing of the foot strike, right? That's how they call that the sequence. Same timing of the foot strike. Close the shoulders, keep your hips and shoulder there on release point, because that's how you get torque. If you keep that front side closed and you rotate that shoulder, you let your hips rotate through and you flick that wrist, that is how you get torque, and that's how you get more power on the ball. And if you're really emphasizing your wrist flick and trusting your hands, that's how we are a more consistent passer and get a little more accurate. Let's watch this throw full speed again. I know everybody's going to say, oh, he's just got a strong arm. It's not mechanics. Again, I'm not saying most of you, some of you probably will never make this throw, right? And nor do I teach this type of throw. I don't even teach this type of throw. But I do teach a drift out the back door and we throw a drag coming back across. I do teach a drift and we throw a dig, but I'm not going to have you guys throw this. This is a throw that you got to have a cannon of an arm to make this type of throw. But an off-platform throw, any quarterback can make that throw. Let's watch it again full speed one more time. So he's drifting here. Make sure you keep your hips and your shoulders there. Make sure it's the same foot strike and be able to rotate through. You want to keep a good center of gravity when you're drifting at any time when you're throwing off-platform. All right, guys, I really want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope this video gave you guys some value just on how quarterback positions should be played, how you guys should get comfortable with those uncomfortable throws. And again, if you guys are a quarterback and want to get better at reading coverages, understanding defenses, check out that link in the description that says learn how to read defense. Like I said, 200 already made breakdowns, like Netflix almost, for reading coverages, plus 4 new videos every single week, and just all the defenses you can think of and everything that you're going to see. We break it down step by step. Hope to get you guys on that soon. I'll see you guys next time.